Oh, a man that I'm sure would dig a little bit of that is joining me right now. Justin Hawkins,
A bit of what?
welcome.
I didn't hear that one.
Pirate Radio.
Yeah.
You're doing that thing that working parents do. You're trying to wave at your daughter through
Yeah,
the
I'm
glass,
just raising her
aren't
thumb through the glass and being ignored. It's brilliant.
you? That is parenting as I know it.
Well, my experience of it is I'm heading up finance, and reciprocal waving is a no-no. So I just wave and pay for stuff, and that's it.
Then you do. As she gets older, you'll drive her places as well.
I'm looking forward to that bit. Yeah, that
and
should
then
be
when
good.
you speak, they will predominantly just suck and sigh and ignore you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's already started, luckily.
And she's 3.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
They grow
to
up so fast.
They do, don't they? And she is beautiful. She's like a little kind of mini version of you.
Yeah, a mini sort of beautiful version of me.
Yeah, she really is.
Yeah.
And you were just saying that she speaks both English and German.
So
Because
far.
you now live in Switzerland.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I married a Swiss person and had a Swiss child. She's actually a Swiss, got a Swiss passport and everything. So.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm going to rewind to the last time I saw you. It was backstage at the Brit Awards in, I believe, 2004.
Was I holding 2 Brit Awards and wave, and was the third one balancing on my...
That would be the one, yeah. You were wearing, obviously, Lycra, because that was your thing back then. Mm-hmm. Today you're in, like, normal fabric.
There's Lycra underneath it, though.
Is there?
And, yeah, there's always a thin layer of Lycra hiding beneath the surface.
But that night was really the Darkness's night. The night belonged to you. 3 Brit Awards, Kerrang Awards coming out of your ears. 1.3 million albums sold that year.
I used to wear them all on a long chain around my neck.
Like B.A. Baracus.
Yeah. Fool. Yeah, I ain't getting on a plane, I used to say, because of my awards, they're too heavy.
But you guys were just a breath of fresh air because you put the ridiculous in the nicest possible way back into what should be a ridiculous business. You were cartoon-like in your exploits. It was brilliant.
We enjoyed the ridiculous side of it.
Yeah.
I think that was, for a minute there, everybody else did as well.
Oh, loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Happy days.
Yeah, they were. I mean, did I make this up and dream it, or did you actually have a boob chariot at one point?
There was a boob chariot at one point, yeah. We had all sorts of things. There was... since then I've had an unusually large guitar, which I surf on, an actual surfboard, a boob
These are
chariot.
stage props, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So a boob chariot.
Oh, but the most famous one was probably the white tiger, the glorious white tiger. That flew above the audience and
for no reason.
Yeah, just because it was something to ride on.
You would ride the tiger.
Yeah, just ride it and play a guitar solo on it. Basically, that's what my feeling is, that wildlife should be respected and ridden on and played guitars on the back of.
I think you may have just contradicted yourself in one whole breath there, but anyway. So we're in 2004. You are, private jets, awards hanging around your neck.
We
literally.
borrowed a private jet. We didn't have our own one at that time. We used one a couple of times, chartered.
You did. I mean, you opened Glastonbury.
And in fact, that was the last time.
By copter.
Oh yeah, we did some copter stuff. When we used to have a member of our crew that would only smoke on planes, so we had to have private jets. Otherwise, he'd get a bit, edgy.
I can see that you had a lot of fun with it. But all these years on, how have you ended up living in Switzerland with a little girl that comes to work with you, wearing normal clothes, Justin?
Where did it all go wrong, you're asking?
When did you start to sort it all out?
I don't know, actually. I think I've always worn... This isn't this ordinary clothes?
Well, it's cotton.
It's cotton, yeah, you're right.
It's not...
I should have looked at the label, you're quite right. But at least there's no cruelty involved in it.
So
apart from, you might see a pattern on your retina, but beyond that...
I can cope. I've seen you in Lycra.
Oh.
Don't worry, my retinas have...
That's just seared on there forever, isn't it?
They're like armadillo skin after that. One thing I hope hasn't changed since 2004 is that you still continue to record your vocals naked.
Yeah, because you shouldn't allow, cotton to get between yourself and a great performance, and plus you don't want anybody else to feel comfortable around you when you're doing it, because that defeats the point, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
It's the last little shred of rebellion left in me, I think.
The New Darkness album was, as all were the other albums, recorded with you wearing your birthday suit.
Yes. And I tend to be in the studio on my birthday, so I quite often am singing in my birthday suit on my birthday, which is a treat for everyone.
So we've got a new record. You're back with a new tour, a new album. We're going to have a listen to your new single a little later. But first, a track that you've chosen by Chris Rea. Any particular reason why you like a bit of Chris?
Well, it was because when they asked me to, or when your people asked my people to ask me to select a track.
I've got people?
Yeah, you have.
Have I?
Well, it might have just been a random. I'm not sure, actually. Somebody contacted us, nonetheless, in your name.
And asked you to choose some records.
Yeah, and they said, choose some. And they said, oh, well, make it Radio 2 friendly. I didn't quite know what that meant, so I looked at the playlist and I saw Chris Rea on there, and I thought, yes, that would be rebellious. Let's get some dad rock. Let's get some dad rock on the airwaves.
And you've gone with the classic. We're going to be chatting more with Justin after this. We're going to be talking the heady days of chart stardom, right through to
Chardom, I call that.
Chardom, nice, like it. But first, Chris Rea, Road to Hell. Road to Hell, Chris Rea, as chosen by Justin Hawkins, who's with me now, talking all things the darkness, because you guys are back, about to hit the road, a tour kicking off all over the UK and
Europe.
And Europe.
All over the place. And then America, maybe? I don't know, Japan?
You can do America and Japan?
I hope so. I think so.
Yeah?
I'm not sure exactly when.
Well, because when you guys imploded, it literally was a global assault, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, perhaps the implosion. I'm not sure. I don't know much about physics, but I reckon it buckles, doesn't it, under a certain.
And actually, for a while, that's what happened with you guys. You made it. You were huge, and then it's like a fault line. It starts to go through the
maybe
band.
it's like maybe there's a threshold, and then you have so much success that it starts to dribble out the top, and then in your haste to try and stop the spillage, you end up knocking it over completely.
Volcano.
And then you're standing there with like an empty jar of success, and all the success is just on your trousers, which is.
Well, if they were on yours, that would be a crying shame because you had some beauties.
Be disastrous, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Is that what happened with you guys? Because slowly but surely, one person left, then you left, and then slowly you all got it back together.
But then we
again.
Reassembled,
yeah.
like the Avengers team, but with the same kind of outfits and.
You weren't far off, actually.
Yeah, it's true, actually, isn't it? Yeah.
So the first person to go was Frankie, who had that amazing moustache, as I remember.
He still has that, believe it or not.
Does he really?
And he's very lucky because despite, several years of moderate success, it still hasn't gone white. It's still perfectly brown as the day he was
in the band, yeah?
adolescent. Yeah.
Okay, because he left and he said cited musical differences, but also said that you were a bit delusional.
No, I don't think that's the case
at the time.
All.
Well, maybe.
No. I would wholeheartedly deny that.
You would you not?
I would roundly
agree with that?
rebuff that assertion.
And then you were the next one to go.
Yeah, musical differences that time. Definitely.
Was it?
Yeah, with my. Yeah, there's a duality in every artist, I think, and I hated myself.
Right.
Sorry, that's dark, isn't it?
That's quite heavy.
I was hoping to get more of a laugh with that.
Yeah. Well, no, it seems cruel to laugh in the face of self-loathing.
Right. No, okay, fair enough. It was a dark time. Let's say that.
Yeah, it was a difficult time. You went and got some help. You had, had issues with.
And I wish I hadn't spoken about it at the time, to be honest, because it did get a bit dull afterwards. But it's been 11 years now. In fact, 11 years, 3 days ago. Not that anyone's counting.
The thing that made me go, when I read about that time, wasn't that because you've overcome that. It was the fact that you were in a band with your brother. And that must have put a massive strain on your relationship. And those relationships, sibling relationships, are so precious.
It changes. It's a very fluid relationship anyway, isn't it? I mean, the sibling relationship in inverted commas.
Well, in bands, it inevitably
you lose sight of those things, I think, when you're that busy and when you're that. Yeah.
So you two stopped talking for a while, and I would guess that you had to start talking
not that
again.
long. Not that long, really, because we're brothers, and we were talking within perhaps a year and a half or something into the hiatus, which lasted for about 5 years.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that long before we were sort of writing again together. In fact, the first time we got together was probably in 2009, I reckon. So it was only about 3 years after. But we wanted it to be right. We wanted the material to be super strong. We didn't want to. We didn't want to come back with something that was watery and rubbish.
Yeah.
So we spent the same sort of time and effort on it as we do everything, and it took a while to get it, the way we wanted it to be.
Once you start,
then, when we listen back to it, we still don't think, we're still a bit disappointed by what we were doing at that time. Yeah, because it took us a while to get our selves together.
How did you two kind of make your peace? Who was the first to pick up the phone?
I don't remember. It's probably... maybe it would have been one of those horrible sort of family events where somebody's passed away and you have to, you have to... Maybe it was something like that.
Face up to each other again.
Well, yeah, I mean, it must have been either a wedding or a funeral, something like that. And I think we've both been a bit conflict shy throughout this career, really, and that's half of the problem. But it also meant that we weren't throwing things at each other.
Which is...
so that's good.
Yeah, well, it can get like that in a band, can't it? Go off the Gallagher's.
I think it can, yeah. Well, I mean, there's been times when Dan and I have thrown things at other people, but never each other.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Okay. And now you live in a different country to him. How does life in a band where you don't live in the same country as the rest of the band members work for you?
Well, I just have to travel a bit more, or they have to travel a bit more. We quite often do writing sessions in a neutral territory, like a third country. Like we go to Ireland or we go to Spain.
Nice.
We've been to Ibiza for some writing as well.
Have you?
It's actually quite... I mean, that's why you'll hear sort of some more exotic influences in the new music.
Because of the Ibiza, there's suddenly going to be some beats.
Yeah, which will then get deleted when the real recording happens.
Well, we're going to hear some of your new stuff in a moment. But first, another track that you've chosen, Ron Sexsmith. Big fan of his?
I am a big fan of Ron Sexsmith. I think he's a great songwriter. I was hoping for Secret Heart. That's one of my favourite.
I've done it. I've done it. We dug it out of the Radio 2 vaults.
Yeah.
Look at the smile.
One of my happiest days was when he acknowledged me vaguely because I said something nice about him on the Twitter and he simply liked it. That was enough for me.
Was that a joyous moment?
It was a brilliant time. And I was going to my friends, look, Ron. And he's like, what? What even is that app? How come your phone's got pictures on it and stuff like that, they were saying.
But a thrill for a fan like you.
It was a thrill, yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk more about some of the idols that you got to work with along the way. But first, let's hear from one of yours, the man that liked you on Twitter, Ron Sexsmith. The man with one of arguably the best surnames in rock and roll, Ron Sexsmith, chosen by Justin Hawkins, my guest this afternoon. I'm Kate Thornton, sitting in for Zoe Ball. And you're smiling sweetly there, Justin.
Because of what you said about the surname. I think normally if you're an artist and then you go to America and you say, my name's Ron Sexsmith, they'd probably say, you won't get on the radio with a surname like that.
Yeah.
You'd have to change it.
Yeah, but great, he didn't.
No, good for him.
Yeah, that's proper rock and roll, right?
Yeah. Amazing.
Now, talking of proper rock and roll, we could talk for hours because you have done some of the best and most hedonistic, brilliant things that a rock star should do.
Really?
Well, yeah. A boob chariot for a start.
Well, of course, yeah.
So when I say boob chariot, what I mean is it was like a crane with breasts on, and you spent 60 grand on that.
Is that how much it cost, really?
£60,000.
And that was before Brexit, so that was quite a lot of money.
It was. And your lighting rigs on darkness shows, right? So most bands will sit there and you have to, it's business these days, right? You have to get involved in the business end of the show business.
Yeah.
But you clearly had no eye on the budget because your lighting rig was so big, you had to have 2 extra articulated lorries to power it.
And also we had...
That's brilliantly ridiculous.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
We had inflatables for, the song Black Shuck.
Yeah.
It's all about like a mythological creature that attacks a church in Suffolk. So, and it's a dog. So we had like an inflatable dog and an inflatable priest. And they were supposed to be doing battle during the song, but they were too big for any of the arenas that we're playing in. So we spent lots of money on inflatables that were just too big to use anywhere. And they never quite got inflated.
Did anyone ever say no to you guys in meetings when you'd go inflatable dogs?
Oh, they've started saying no now, more recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. In fact, that's all we hear.
And did you find now that you actually make money?
Well, everybody makes money apart from the band, and that's the way it's always been, and that's the way it should be.
Do you think so?
I think so, yeah.
I'd like to think that
if we had a huge budget, then we'd spend it on the light show, because we want our fans to enjoy themselves and see something spectacular and go home with a fond memory.
I'd like to think that most of your royalties are hanging in your wardrobe, because those
most
outfits...
of them are, that is true.
Do you still dress up like that,
true.
Justin?
Yeah, I'm working with a new designer who's actually just been assigned to the Lady Gaga project as well, and her name's Angela Bright. And she did superhero costumes like for Arrow and other Marvel characters, and
now she's doing you.
Now she's doing me. Yeah,
It's brilliant.
So, yeah, it's amazing. And she came into it by being an enthusiast of the music, and is now I just write to her pretty much every day, and we come up with new ludicrous costumes for me to wear.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you're still happy to slip into something catsuit based?
I don't feel like I'm ready to perform until I'm wearing a one-piece spandex uniform, and that's just the way I am. I think I've come to accept that.
And
now.
No one's done it with such vigour since Freddie Mercury, which brings me on nicely to your latest recruit to the band.
Yeah.
Rufus Taylor, son of Roger, is your new drummer.
Yeah.
Now you lot.
And you'd think that was just a little bit of, extended nepotism, or, because of who he is and all that stuff. But he's an exceptional drummer and a really brilliant singer as well. He actually sings 2 of the lead vocals on the new album, which gives me an opportunity to simply stand to one side and clap.
And posture.
I do a bit of preening while he's singing, actually. I put my clothes on for those performances in the studio. You'll be relieved to hear.
Yeah. I was going to say, how did he go down with the naked vocals?
I'm not sure if you can use that expression.
That's probably quite right, yeah. How was he with that?
Yeah, he's cool with that stuff. He understands. I mean, he's grew up around rock and that kind of foolishness. And I think he's delighted that we do it in that way,
But you lot, you lot being the band, I mean, you're not just Queen fans, you're fanatics, aren't you? You love that.
Yeah, I had to actually conceal one of my fingers when he turned up for the initial sort of audition stroke rehearsal, because I've got a tattoo of his father's face.
Oh, yeah, you've got...
on my wedding ring finger, yeah.
Brilliant.
So I was kind of just covering it with my hand.
Because this is the medium of radio, I will explain what adorns your knuckles, and it is the four members of Queen.
It's the artwork from the Hot Space album, which is one of the least popular Queen albums. In fact, surviving members of Queen do not like that record because it's so disco-y.
I'm going to take a picture of that and I'm going to pop it up on my Instagram for everyone to see. Lovely. That's a beautiful thing.
Thanks.
So, but you know what?
I actually started off with Freddie on the middle. Obviously, I lived with that concept for a little while, and then I had to add in the other guys too.
You built it out.
Yeah.
But he would have seen on your other 3 fingers the other 3 band members and just thought, what, you don't like my dad?
He kind of knew what was going to be there, And then I had to do the big reveal to a gasp of disappointment, and we just...
Does this mean now that you're friends with Rog?
We always have been friends with Rog, funnily enough. And I mean, that's kind of how it came about. Is like we've always been sniffing around the Queen camp, as it were. Sniffing around their bins.
Like alley cats.
Yeah.
In Lycra.
Obviously I was brought up on Queen. That was my main motivation for doing it, really.
What a thrill. That you end up becoming friends with the people that inspired you on your musical path.
Who could ask for more?
Who could ask for more? And so Rufus is part and parcel not only of the album and the tour, but also now stepping up and performing vocals with you as well. And the new album is called Pinewood Smile, which is out in October. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah. And you're out on the road touring it from the beginning of October? Mid-October?
I think we start off in November, actually. But
Not
I'd have to
according to my
double-check.
notes.
Okay, you're probably... Yeah.
If you do that, you're going to miss most of Ireland and quite a large part of Europe.
No, I'll definitely be there for those ones as well. Yeah.
I would try if I was you.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to those, especially, as you can tell.
And the new single, out on the 18th of August. We're going to give it a spin now. But this comes with, as always, From the Darkness, quite a lively video. Talk me through.
Which one are we talking about? The All the Pretty Girls one?
All the Pretty Girls.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's a video of me wearing a blue Lycra. Well, I call it the Blue Thunder. It's inspired by the helicopter film of the same name, and it has a helicopter embroidered on the back.
Does it really?
Yeah, it does.
Fabulous.
So
low-key.
It's just us mucking about in Cornwall. So
nice.
That's nice.
I'm looking through the glass at your 3-year-old daughter, and I'm hoping that one day you'll wear that Blue Thunder to a parents' evening.
Yeah.
That would be lovely.
I think she'd really appreciate that too.
I think that's what you owe her.
Yeah.
Justin, thank you for coming in. Good luck
Thanks
with
for
your
having
record. Lovely to hear all your news and to see your little one.
Cheers.
Beautiful stuff. This is the brand new single From the Darkness, All the Pretty Girls.